There is a moment that happens in every long-term investor's life that nobody really warns you about. It is the moment when you look at your investment account and realize that in the last 12 months, your investment gains grew more than the money you put in yourself. Basically, your money worked harder than you did and made more than your salary. And for most people, the first time that happens, it feels almost impossible, almost like a glitch, like the math must be wrong somewhere. But it's not a glitch, it is compounding, and it is the single most powerful force in finance. More powerful than your income, more powerful than your savings rate, more powerful than any investment strategy anyone has ever designed. Albert Einstein is widely credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. And whether he actually said it or not, the sentiment is exactly right. Because once you genuinely understand what compounding does, and more importantly, what it requires from you, your entire relationship with money changes permanently. Today, we are going to break down the compounding snowball, exactly how it works, why it starts slow and finishes fast, and what you can do right now to make sure yours is already rolling. Most people have heard the word compounding. Fewer people have genuinely felt the weight of what it means. So let us start from the beginning and build it up properly. When you invest money and earn a return on it, that return gets added to your original balance. The next time the market generates a return, it does so on your original balance plus the return you already earned. So you are not just earning returns on what you put in, you are earning returns on your returns. And those returns earn returns. And those returns earn returns. Over time, this creates a snowball effect where the growth is not linear, but exponential, meaning the pace of growth accelerates as the balance gets larger, and it does so automatically without any additional effort from you. Here's the simplest way to understand the scale of what compounding does over time. There is a rule in investing called the Rule of 72. It states that if you divide 72 by your annual rate of return, the result is approximately how many years it takes for your money to double. At a 10% average annual return, which is roughly the long-term historical average of the US stock market, your money doubles approximately every 7.2 years. Every 7.2 years. Without adding a single dollar, without doing anything except not touching it. Let's run that through John's life. John is 35 years old and has $50,000 invested in a diversified index fund, returning an average of 10% annually. He never adds another dollar. He never adjusts anything. He just leaves it alone. By age 42, it is worth approximately $100,000. By 49, $200,000. By 57, $400,000. By 64, nearly $800,000 from a single $50,000 investment that John made at 35 and never touched again. That is not a financial trick, that is arithmetic, and it works the same way for every person who gives it the time it needs. Here is the part of the compounding story that almost nobody tells you, and it is the most important part of all, because it is the part that causes most people to give up before the snowball has any real momentum. Compounding is extraordinarily front-loaded with patience and back-loaded with reward. In the early years, the growth feels invisible. John puts in $500 a month for a year, earns a 10% return, and his account has grown from $6,000 to maybe $6,600. $600 of growth on a year's worth of disciplined saving. It feels insulting. It feels like the strategy is not working. And every single day during that early period, there is a louder, more exciting, more immediately gratifying place that money could go. A vacation, a car upgrade, a home renovation, something that produces a visible, tangible, enjoyable result right now, rather than an invisible $600 gain in an account John will not touch for decades. This is exactly where most people abandon the compounding snowball. Not because the math stopped working, not because their strategy was wrong, but because the early years of compounding require a kind of faith that is genuinely difficult to maintain without a clear picture of what is waiting on the other end. So let us build that picture clearly. If John is 35 and contributes $500 a month to an index fund returning 10% annually, here is what his balance looks like decade by decade. After 10 years at age 45, he has approximately $102,000. After 20 years at 55, he has approximately $343,000. After 30 years at 65, he has approximately $1,130,000. Now look at that progression carefully because this is where the real story is. In the first 10 years, his balance grew by $102,000. In the second 10 years, it grew by $241,000, more than double the first decade. In the third 10 years, it grew by $787,000, more than 3 times the second decade and nearly 8 times the first. The snowball does not roll at a steady pace. It accelerates. And the acceleration in the final decade is so dramatic that it looks almost unfair compared to the crawl of the early years. This is why starting early is not a cliché. It is a mathematical reality. Every year you delay starting is a year removed from the end, which is the period of maximum acceleration, not from the beginning, which is the period of minimum return. Understanding what compounding can do is only half the equation. The other half is understanding what stops it, because the compounding snowball is a powerful force, but it is not indestructible. There are 3 things that interrupt it most consistently, and all 3 of them are behavioral. The first is selling during market downturns. When the market drops 20 or 30%, the natural human response is to do something. To sell, to protect what remains, to wait until things look safer, and then get back in. But every time you sell during a downturn, you do 2 things simultaneously. You lock in the loss permanently, and you remove your balance from the recovery that always follows. The compounding snowball cannot grow through a correction it is not present for. The people who held through the 2008 financial crisis without selling saw their portfolios recover and surpass their previous highs within 4 years. The people who sold locked in losses they never recovered. The second is withdrawing from the account early. Every dollar pulled out of a compounding portfolio before retirement carries a cost that most people dramatically underestimate. It is not just the amount withdrawn. It is the future compounding value of that amount, the snowball that dollar was building for the next 10, 20, or 30 years. A $10,000 early withdrawal at age 40 before taxes and penalties has a real cost of approximately $100,000 to $75,000 in lost compounding by retirement age at 65. The IRS penalty and income tax on early withdrawal are actually the smaller part of what that decision costs. The third is stopping contributions during difficult financial periods. When life gets tight, a job loss, a medical expense, an unexpected bill, the investment account contribution is almost always the first thing people cut. And that makes practical sense in a genuine emergency. But people who pause contributions and never resume them at the same level pay a compounding price for that pause that compounds just like everything else does, quietly, invisibly, and with complete mathematical indifference to the circumstances that caused it. The good news is that protecting the compounding snowball does not require financial genius. It requires 3 simple commitments maintained without exception over a long period of time. The first commitment is to start as early as possible and contribute consistently, regardless of the amount. The amount matters, but the consistency matters more. A person who invests $200 a month starting at 30 will finish ahead of a person who invests $400 a month starting at 40, even though the second person put in nearly as much total money over their investing lifetime. The early years are not where the reward is. They are where the foundation is laid for the reward that arrives decades later. The second commitment is to automate everything and then leave it alone. The greatest enemy of compounding is human behavior, specifically the tendency to react to market news, adjust strategies during downturns, and tinker with allocations in ways that feel productive but consistently produce worse outcomes than simply holding a diversified portfolio and never touching it. The automation removes the decision from the moment of temptation, and the consistency that results is what produces the outcome. The third commitment is to increase your contribution rate every time your income increases. Because while the compounding math is powerful on any amount, the size of the snowball you are building is ultimately determined by how much you put into it. And the peak earning years in your 30s and 40s are the highest leverage window you will ever have for accelerating the growth of something that has already started rolling. The compounding snowball does not care who you are, what you studied, or where you started. It cares about one thing and one thing only: time. Give it time and it grows. Take it away by selling, withdrawing, or simply waiting to start, and it does not. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button and share it with someone who needs to see this, and subscribe if you have not already. With that said, have a great day.